On the day the world ended 17 years ago, the morning sun rose over the horizon, shining on a magnificent palace. And inside this palace, a conference of barons was holding a meeting. The 12 men sat around a large, ornate table discussing mundane policies and procedures.
Mind you, should the Right Honourable the Lord Nicholas Hector of Nantmouth be speaking truly of the matters at the embassy, we might consider more immediate action.
Lord Erebus Diggory, I beseech you to consider the potential consequences that the affirmative and direct action you allude to may inflict on not just the people of Kulholm, but our relations across the realms could be stressed.
Pardon the intrusion into the debate at hand, my lords. However, I have had extensive discussions with the mages of our fair capital. Should these consequences prove critical to the safety of our people, our walls will not falter, not on this plane nor any other. The Right Honourable Lord Jean Simone of Dumley has a point, my lords.
My lords, while I can understand that we can defend our people, should we really be planning for such an event? Should we not work towards a more peaceful solution, rather than a show of force followed by a forced worldfall?
I wholeheartedly disagree, my lord. In fact,
The doors of the room are thrown open. The chamber falls to silence. Standing there, a gaunt figure in fine clothes. His eyes move slowly, analyzing the room and the 12 men at the table.
Pardon the intrusion, my lords. The most high, noble, and potent king, His Grace Olympio Belisarius, Grand Duke of Bannockford, has sent for communication on the status of the repairs of the interplanar worldfall emergency activation system.
And a good day to you too, good sir. The mages and the science teams are still working. They should have an update for His Grand Grace soon.
As is expected, the Grand Duke did offer sending His Grace Duke Dominic of Bannockford to check on the teams on his behalf. Good sir, we don't believe that to be necessary. The teams will... I do not mean to speak over the honorable gentleman. However, I am also to remind you of the deeds, decorations, and, if I may quote, if it lights a fire under their incompetent rears, the ease at which His Grand Grace shed blood during his many military conquests. I take it you understand the influence he has had in raising his children.
The room falls into silence again, as the barons turn to look at each other.
I will return in an hour for your response.
The man turns and walks out of the doors, closing them on the way out.
Well, I must say, what a rude servant! Who decided to hire such a delinquent? It certainly was not I.
Regardless, my lords, let's get back to...
Suddenly, the windows explode into the room, showering the men with glass. The sounds of screams can be heard from the streets below. Some of the men get up to look outside. Hanging in the sky are 4 massive vessels. The ships look as if they were made from an enormous nautilus. Each sport writhing tentacles that are practically the size of the main ships themselves. Behind these ships, remnants of the aberrant rifts they traveled through were closing.
It's the Illithid? Those nautiloids are massive. I have never heard of those ships being so large. Get it together, men. We are being invaded. Get to safety, organize the military, and go find the royal family. We must protect the royals with our lives.
The men began to scurry down the halls, crunching on the broken glass that once filled the hallway with dazzling colors. Now the hallway was turning a red to match the darkening sky. The barons split up across the palace. One man ran to the guards at the front door, finding them grappled by mind flayers that forced their tentacles into their heads. Two of the barons found the captain of the guard.
Captain, send whatever available troops you have to find the royal family. I've already done that, you maggot. Yarroglad was already with Duke Dominic and Duchess Diana. I've sent more to help out. Gods only know if they even made it. We must focus on us right now and regroup. Now move it!
Another man ran down the hall, only to be met by the gaunt man in the fine clothes.
Good sir, we are under attack. You must find shelter. Have you seen the royals?
We have yet to find them. My apologies, my lord. I seem to have gotten my timing wrong. I was not going to be back in an hour. I meant a minute. Do forgive me.
What?
The gaunt man began to laugh. First, it was just his voice, but layers of higher-pitched laughs and deeper laughs began to layer in. His flesh began to melt and expand. The baron fell backwards and stared in horror. The hall was filled with an amorphous pillar of gnashing mouths, protruding faces, and writhing tentacles. All of its eyes turned towards the baron. He let out a scream, only to have it cut short.